Caterpillar, Home Depot announced new rounds of job cuts yesterday, totaling more than 75,000. There's a new focus also on corporate spending. CBS News correspondent Michelle Gielan is at the New York Stock Exchange with more. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, Harry. Citigroup has received so much bailout money to date that the American taxpayer is now its major stockholder. So when it was reported that the company was taking delivery of a new, very expensive corporate jet, some just couldn't believe it. The news yesterday that Citigroup is spending $50 million on a luxury corporate jet like this one had some taxpayers seeing red.
I was outraged. $50 million. They have leather seats in this airplane, and I don't think they care. I think they're spoiled babies. Why can't they fly commercial?
The bank, which has received $45 billion in bailout money, says the contract for the French-made Dassault Falcon 7X was signed in 2005. And in a statement, Citigroup says that refusing delivery now would result in millions of dollars in penalties. But some say for the struggling bank to buy a luxury jet at this time is unthinkable.
Citigroup is sending the wrong message to the public. They're going out and taking delivery of a $50 million plane while people are losing their jobs and their homes. They just don't get it.
The bank claims that TARP money will not be used to buy the plane, but some say the extravagant purchase is arrogant and business as usual.
The world has changed in the last 2 years, and Wall Street and corporate America don't get it. They haven't changed their habits, and they need to.
At yesterday's briefing, the White House spokesman criticized the purchase.
That money should be used to lend to consumers, to get the economy moving again, to free up capital and credit, and help small businesses create jobs.
Michelle Gielan, thanks. We're joined now by Steve Forbes, President and Chief Executive Officer of Forbes, Inc. Good morning, sir.
Good to be with you, Harry. Thank you.
Do these guys not get it? I know they already said, well, we're gonna sell our other corporate jets, but we want to go ahead and take delivery on this one. This combined with this whole thing with Merrill giving $4 billion in bonuses. They've got $10 million in TARP money. You give $4 billion in bonuses before they merge with Bank of America. What's with these guys?
They still don't get it, because on the corporate jet, yes, they may have had some penalties, but you take a couple of million in penalties versus the 40 or 50 billion you're going to need to keep this thing alive.
Right.
Hey, that's not much of a trade-off.
Yeah.
And they should have, when they realized they're going to have to take delivery, put it on sale so they can say, well, we're getting rid of the thing, we're getting rid of the other things.
Right.
And yes, maybe a little more inefficient, but hey, you've got to keep this thing alive, and you've got to have the trust of the public. This is not the way you win trust in an environment like this.
All of this does, in the end, affect President Obama and his attempts to continue to use TARP money or continue to try and push through an economic stimulus package. If people in America are sitting there watching this stuff go on, how are they going to trust that the money that's pouring out of the federal government is being used wisely?
Well, it's sad that we get caught up on this kind of stuff, and Citibank and others are not helping, decorating offices for $1.2 million.
Amazing. $1,700 garbage cans.
Yeah, well, they produce obviously a lot of garbage in the loan markets.
Better have a good garbage can.
So
well said, right?
I can see the expense for that one, but everything else they could have put aside. And but the bottom line is there will be a stimulus package. The question is what will be in it. And I think a couple of things, if President Obama can just get rid of one of these dumb things that sounds so boring. It's called mark-to-market accounting, which is forcing banks to take write-offs on loans, even though the principal's being paid,
right,
the mortgages are being paid. They have to take huge write-downs, which makes them reluctant to lend.
Right.
Get rid of that thing. They got rid of it during the Depression, bought it back a few years ago. It doesn't work. Suspend it. Then another thing they should do on the housing market, showing a little bit of sign of life. Let's push
Yesterday,
that.
yeah.
Right now, the government can borrow money long-term at 3.5%. Use Fannie and Freddie to do something good for once, borrow that money at those low rates, and then go to homeowners and say you can refinance your mortgages at 4.5%, 5%, and the loans will be made.
We'll send that
Good
message.
Stuff.
We'll send that message to Washington right now. Steve Forbes, as always.
Harry, thank you.
Do
appreciate it.